financial planner.
Hello everyone. This video is a topic that I've wanted to talk on for a while, but I wasn't sure how to really tackle it from my own perspective. But I have definitely a few things to say about it that I've come up with now. And it's all about race. Why are we so worried about race? We're so worried about it because of what we're watching, what we're hearing, and what we're doing in our daily life. We are putting ourselves directly into the race agenda, which is the race war. When you watch TV, you watch CNN or any other news network, it's all about race. There's always these cops killing black people, or even black cops killing white people. It goes either way, and they always go to court. There's always a controversial ending, which just adds to the feud. There's all these different parties that are on the news. The Black Lives Matter, all of these different groups, they're all parties. They're all political parties that are put out by the same people that are creating all of these race events that are occurring in the news. It's all propaganda, and I think most of it is completely fake and made up. I mean, you have no reason to even believe that it's real besides that they're saying it on the news. And the news is on the television, which lies to what you are seeing. It also lies to what you are hearing, just like music does. It's not made for us to really learn about the world and how it is and what's going on in it. It's made to give us a specific perspective about the world and how it is. It's not made to open our mind to the world. It's made to close our mind and say that the world is this way and this is how it is. And that's all that the race war does, is it gives us one perspective, which that perspective divides us. And as long as we are divided, we can never overcome the slavery that we all are in right now. We're all a slave to money. We're a slave to the society. Most of us are working at your normal 9-to-5 jobs that we don't even like to work at, but we go anyways because we are the slaves. And when you're a slave, you feel like you have to do what you are doing to stay alive, basically. When you really look at it, you've overcome every adversity that you've ever had in your life. And that's because we can't be stopped once we realize that we can't be. But we have the mindset that at any moment it can all end for us. But that's because of what we're seeing on TV. It ends for all these people on TV all the time. And it gives us the fear and the pain and the suffering of what's happening on TV. We start to feel ourselves because we think that it can happen to us. When in reality, it's only going to happen to us if we allow it to. And the only way that we allow it to is by focusing on that type of stuff. As soon as you stop watching it, you stop paying attention to it, you stop listening to it, you don't talk to other people about it, you do not make the ball keep rolling, it will end. It's all about us participating in it. It's the only reason that it's still going on. And it goes bigger than black versus white. It's more with all of the races too. It's not just black and white, but that's how it's portrayed here in America, because that's the two dominant races. They even call them races because we're racing to be better than the other one. That's why they call them races. And in races, it's all about competition. It's the duality. Someone's going to lose, and we're racing to the end. And as long as we're racing, we cannot all win, which we can all win once we come together. But there's so many more colors out there than black and white. We're not even black or white. We're neither. We're brown to a very dark brown degree. No one's black. I've never seen anyone that was actually black. Even in Egypt, they're not portrayed as being black. They're portrayed as being brown, not even that dark of brown. So I think that the people that were from there, that we have pictures of, that are supposed to be very, very dark, I think that that's just because they're out in the sun for so long that their skin just got darker. Our skin has carbon in it, which some people know as melanin. All melanin is carbon. And that's what we are made up of, carbon. And the carbon is what makes our skin a different color. The more carbon we have in it, the darker our skin is. It's that simple. It's nothing special. It's nothing that anyone has more than the other, because it's really about the carbon you have inside of you. That's where our power comes from. And we all have carbon in us because we are carbon-based life forms. So for us to look on the outside at our skin is being very short-sighted, which is what happens when you're just using your eyes. You're missing a whole nother reality that is right in front of you. And because of that, we're looking at our skin and we're going off of, oh, this happened to this person because he's this color in history, and we think that that is how this world is actually put into effect, when we don't know that most of history even happened. None of us can prove it besides what we're being told, and you have to believe it to go along with it. When you believe something, you're just taking on someone else's thoughts, basically, regardless if they actually happened or not. We can't prove that. And when we do that, we end up getting ourselves in the same circles and cycles as in the past. Because when you use the past to try to fix the now, you do the same things eventually, because you're trying to use it and you're going to come up with the same exact mistakes. Even if you're saying you're using it to fix it, history repeats itself because of that, because we're looking at history. When we look at now and come up with our own original ideas to fix what's going on now, it will all end because we will come up with thoughts that have never been told to us in history. History is not our friend. His story is his story. It's not our story. It's not the story that we have right here and now. It's something that possibly happened in the past. We have to stay in the present and realize what's really going on here in the present. And there's nothing going on here that is helping us from the media and news to realize what race really is. Race is really non-existent at all. It is a program. It is part of the matrix. It was all that race is. It could have literally been programmed into our skin with these different amounts of carbon so that we look different and they can carry out all of these different agendas that are going on right now. I mean, you have people who fear Muslims and anyone from the Middle East just because they have that skin color, because of what they've been programmed with on the TV. This is all part of the plan. Every part of it. Same as Asians. They say Asians are yellow. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And they have their own racial divide that happens. Same with people from India. Every nation has this racial divide that we have allowed to keep going because we believe what we're being told about them and we think of them as being different. But we're all called human, which hue means color. But we're all color men or women. And that's not on our outside, it's on our inside. We all are the same colors on our inside. We all project the same exact energy from our inside, which when you look at our chakra system, it's all aligned with different colors that go along with the different frequencies, which is where I see the hue comes from. We are every color possible in our true inside, where our energy comes from. We're all the same at the core. We've just been taught that we're all different on the outside here. And we all have a choice at any point to stop participating in the racial agenda. I could honestly keep going on talking about all the different events in the news and everything, but there's no point to, because they're literally all the same. They're all pushing the same type of thing. And as long as you're talking about it, as long as you're going on about it, you're just helping them keep that energy going. Regardless if you agree with it or not, you're just helping that energy keep going, and it's going to keep going into effect. We have to realize that we're all programmed in different ways, and each of us have taken on even the same programming differently because we're all unique. And as long as we allow the programs to make our judgment for us, we're never going to get out of it. We need to not judge anyone. We need to see past the programs that have been put on us and other people. We need to be able to see that they are acting like that because of what they have been through in their life, because of what they have experienced that has made them be racist or made them not like a certain type of person because of the color of their skin or where they're from on the earth. It's all the program that they were given. It could have been from history, it could have been something they seen on TV, it could have been something they seen in a movie that they just took on. I mean, it could be a comedy and you might laugh at it, but your subconscious takes that on and you start really acting like that, how it is. Just because it's done in a humorous way doesn't mean that it cannot program you. It most definitely can. And I think humor is one of the strongest ways to program our subconscious. And there's no point of using humor to talk about these subjects either, because they're not funny. We shouldn't put any of our emotion, which our emotion is just our energy in motion. So we shouldn't put our energy into any of these topics, regardless if you're doing it in a humorous way or not, because it only keeps that energy ball of racial agenda keep going. We need to feel the empathy of people when they talk, when they bring something up to us that would be part of the racial agenda, that a program that they have taken on. We need to understand why they are doing that. And in doing it that way, you will not judge them. You will not say, I don't like this person because of what they're saying. You will understand that they are like that because of what they have been through. And you might even be able to help that person to understand what is really going on. It's the only way that we're ever going to get out of the racial program that we've been set in, which is one of the biggest ways that we are divided. I mean, it even goes to sports. You have in the NFL, most QBs are white, and when you have a black quarterback, it's like the savior is coming to there if he can actually throw the ball. It's considered that black quarterbacks can't throw the ball, but they can run good. It's all based on race. It causes racial divide. In the NBA, you have most of the players in the NBA are black, and it's considered this gang and thug league because of that. It's completely ridiculous. The white people that are in the NBA, they're considered great shooters. It's all broken up into racial agendas. And I don't even like saying black and white, because we're not black and white. We're neither of them. The problem is that's how they're actually saying it. So when you're talking about it and explaining it, you have to use some terms that people can actually understand what you're talking about. I don't see anyone as any color when I'm looking at them. I just see them for who they are. We're all individuals and unique in our own specific way. No matter where we've came from, what we've been through, we were who we were when we were born into this world and when we came into this world. And even before then, we're still whoever we are. We just have to remember that. We need to get back to our roots, to our actual true selves, and all of this racial tension will just completely end in that instant. It's that simple. But that's all I wanted to say. I think that's I covered everything. If you have any questions, anything you want to add, leave them in the comments. And have a good night, everyone.